everyone, and welcome to a new season of All Access with the Profs. I'm Derek Hill. I'm joined by my partner, Sean Kelly. Today we have final tallies for the winter track and field season, as well as continuing action in the NJAC tournament from the Prof basketball teams.
Later on in the broadcast, we'll be joined in studio by the men's track and field teams following their NJAC victory. Plus, our own Jeremy Leftfinger joins us in studio to break down everything going on in pro sports.
And Sean, starting a new season, it's good to be back, man. It's good to have you on the show.
I appreciate it. I'm so happy to be able to come on and join the show and talk about some fantastic rowing sports.
It's slightly new cast because people were busy, but I'm
Yes.
glad we got the cast that we did. Slightly new format. We're trying to go live this year as well.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
It should be a fun time. And then we have some great interviews with the track and field team coming up later today. So, Sean, would you start us off with
Let's
some
get
basketball
right into
highlights?
it in this new season. Rowan women's basketball held on to a tight win last Wednesday against Keene University, scraping by with an 82-79 win over the Cougars. Guard Dominique Peters led Rowan with 23 points and 8 rebounds, while Kennedy Brown followed with 19 points. Guard Olivia Roulon played the role of a fantastic teammate, grabbing 8 boards and dishing 6 assists. The Profs finished the game shooting 47% at the field with a 38% three-point percentage and an amazing 81% at the free throw line. The women finished with 15-10 on the season with a 13-5 record in the conference.
The men's basketball team dribbled their way to a successful end of the regular season last Wednesday with a 91-77 win over Keene University. Guard Ryan Legler scored a career-high 22 points for the Profs, including 6 three-point shots. Forward Ramon Wright posted 18 points, 4 boards, and 5 steals, while guards Nick DePersia and Deron Curry both totaled 11 points. DePersia's 3 triples on the night broke a school record as he now holds the most career three-point shots made with 257. His brother Rob DePersia also had a very successful outing, tying his career high of 12 assists. The Profs end the regular season with a 19-6 overall record and 13-5 in the NJAC.
The women's basketball team faced a tough adversary in the NJAC semifinals against the Keene University Cougars. In a game that ultimately went to overtime, the Profs could not hang on to head to the championship game, falling to the Cougars 77-71. After uncontested back-to-back layups by Alexis Crilly and Dominique Peters to force overtime at a score of 61, the Cougars got off to a hot start. They would start the period on a 9-0 run, giving them 70-61 lead. The Profs would try to climb back from the deficit, but would end up unsuccessful. Despite the loss, Peters would score a career-high 30 points for the Profs. The team finishes the second with a 15-11 record.
The men's basketball team tackled the Montclair State Redhawks in the semifinals of the NJAC Championships tournament on Tuesday. Ramon Wright's career-high 27 points led the way in the team's 95-86 win. Deron Curry scored 23 points, posting a perfect 8-for-8 line on foul shots. After holding a slim 3-point lead at halftime, the Profs hunkered down and pushed for the 9-point final advantage. The win was accented by a 70% free throw percentage, coming off of 30 attempts at the line. The Profs advanced to the NJAC Championship to take on the top-seeded New Jersey City University tonight at 7 p.m. Sean, big game for them tonight, and I know you followed that team this season.
Yeah, definitely. Like the basketball teams, both in general, have just been posting extremely insane seasons, and I think a lot of it is because of their veteran players. I mean, you look at the boys basketball team, and you really can't think and talk about anything without talking about the DePersias. Like they're kind of the rock of that team, and but they're both leaving. So, and I think that's something that they're going to really push forward for the end of the season. So last season, I think that this is the season that they take the Profs to the top.
So next season, the men's team needing to look for some more players to fill those guard spots, but it seems that tonight they're going to rely on those DePersias to try and get the win. And 100%. I hope that they get the win too. Really? Despite the loss from the women's team, they had a great season as well. Only 11 losses.
Yeah, and both teams.
2 seed in the NJAC too, just like the men's team.
Yeah, and they're both going in there with strong power, and I think it's going to be a really exciting end to the postseason.
So both teams had an exciting season. We'll be right back at the desk later on, but Mark Acitelli joins us now with members of the men's track and field team to discuss their winter season. Mark?
Welcome into Prof Spotlight. I'm your host, Mark Acitelli, alongside 2 Rowan track and field athletes. We got Chris Messiano and Matt Russo. Guys, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And, you know, first off, before we do anything, congratulations, guys, on winning the NJAC Indoor Track and Field Championship. I know it's the team's fifth in a row consecutive, so that's great for you guys.
Appreciate
But
it.
congratulations on that. Now, we'll get into some of the questions a little bit. So first off, I want to know, how did you guys first get started in the sport of track? And we'll start with Chris and then go to Matt next.
So I got started in track in high school. I originally played baseball, growing up all through Little League, but it was really political in high school, so I figured I watched my brother sit the bench, a lot of the years, so I figured I didn't want to do that. I want to do my own thing. So I joined the track team, and my coach, Mr. Perangeli, really got me into it, and I really liked it after that. So I mean, that's how I got into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, similar to Chris. Started 9th grade. I played soccer and baseball throughout my childhood. Same with the political stuff. So I kind of just wanted to try something new. My brother ran when he was in high school, but he wasn't very good. But I still wanted to give it a try, and I fell in love with it. I had good support in high school from my teammates and coaches, so I wanted to pursue it in college.
Well, both of you seem to do it pretty well. You guys got yourselves the Rowan, two of the best runners on the team. Now we're just getting into some of the things about you guys in track. So I know you guys do different events. Chris, sprints and hurdles. Matt, you're a distance runner. If each of you could just kind of go over, what goes into your training regimen? Because I know distance, you got to practice a lot of long runs. It's kind of like the fastest you can be. What's the different regimens you guys both have for your sports?
Yeah, so for sprints, it's there's two sides. You have the speed side and the endurance side. So, every other day we're doing either an endurance run or a speed run. And then, you sprinkle weightlifting and some other stuff in there, and you get a sprinter out. But I mean, overall, it's almost like two different sports the way we train. The distance guys are out in, no short or no pants, are out in shorts, and we're out there bundled up with, 3-4 layers on some days. So.
Yeah, so distance, a lot of long distance runs, probably doing 60 to 70 miles a week. Two sides, like Chris said, mostly focusing on strength, and throwing a little bit of speed once championship season comes along. But yeah, I mean, it's tough, but when you race well, it's rewarding. So.
Well, that's
Chris
great,
can
man.
say that too. So.
I mean, 60 to 70 miles a week. I know I could never do that. I played soccer just like you did when you first started out, and I hated running 5 miles for that. So, but now we'll just get into what is each of your favorite events, and why do you enjoy them so much?
So I mean, my best event is my favorite event. It's the 400 hurdles. So it's a quarter mile with 10 hurdles, and I really like that event because it's like the 400, which I'm good at, but I'm not good enough to win at most of the time. So the 400 hurdles is, a little different. You have to be, it's more of a rhythm race rather than a sprint. So I really fell in love with that race sophomore year of high school. My coach introduced me to it, and it just clicked. And ever since then, I've been running that race, and that's what got me on the team here. It's my times from that.
I would say the 3,000 steeplechase. I actually just started last year, but I quickly found the passion for it. I just like the blend of athleticism it takes, as well as strength and speed. It also challenges you mentally, jumping over 35 barriers throughout the race. But yeah, I really enjoy that race.
Well, I mean, it seems like from your events, you guys really like a challenge, and I think we can all say one of the most challenging things is probably, your season in general. Track's one of those sports that, it's one of those rare sports that you actually have 2 seasons. You guys have indoor track, you also have outdoor track. So I'm just kind of wondering, how do you guys not get exhausted from doing it all year round nonstop?
Yeah, well, we definitely do get exhausted. Where by the time the end of the championship season comes around, a lot of us just don't want to be around each other, or we're just we're so tired from running all the time. But we really do enjoy it. I mean, if you're not at this level, if you don't like doing it, then you're in the wrong place. You know what I mean? But we definitely do get tired, and towards the end of the year, it's very rewarding. Being able to get your time off in the summer. It's like you work so hard through the fall and winter and spring, and now you can enjoy your nice summer body in the summer.
Nice summer body. Got to get the beach body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough. There are a lot of days where you just don't want to go to practice, but you got to do well for your teammates, and your teammates support you, so that helps you get through it. But yeah, I think Chris nailed it with what he said.
Yeah, that's great. And talking about just getting exhausted, you guys are student athletes first. I mean, student comes before the athlete. You guys are good students here at Rowan. I'm just, does it get hard trying to, do a dual season sport and also trying to balance all that schoolwork? I know both of you getting ready to graduate after this semester, so, just kind of explain how difficult that might be.
Yeah, it's definitely challenging, but it's absolutely manageable if you can do it. Track really puts me on a schedule. We have to be at practice at this time, and I have class at this time, so now I have to fill in. I have to get stuff done, so it really keeps you on track. I don't really have a huge open free time where I can just do whatever.
Right.
It is challenging to balance all those things, but it does help in a way because it gives you a schedule to look forward to.
Yeah, no, I agree. It teaches you valuable life skills like time management, like how to be disciplined and goal-oriented. So, it definitely gets tough with traveling on the weekend and practice and school, but it's definitely manageable. And I think being exposed to it for 8 years is going to help us after we graduate. So.
I'm sure both your parents would love to hear the answer you guys just gave me about, it helps you be prepared and get on the schedule. I know my parents would love to hear that answer. But, now, since you're both graduating in the spring, ask you both the same question. What's your favorite Rowan memory? Try and stick towards track and field, because I know there's a lot of things that go on with college, but, what's your favorite Rowan track and field memory?
It definitely had to be from, the 4x4 races I've ran. It's at the end of the meet, so it's a race that everyone looks forward to because it's the last one and it's so hype. So anything could happen. You drop the baton or something like that. It was actually, I think it was 2016 or 2017. We had NJAC's outdoor home here, and it was the 4x4, and it was us and TC&J, who was our rival, and I was the third leg, and John Ramirez was coming around and he handed off the baton, and John Ramirez fell, and I got the baton with 2 of my fingers, and someone got a picture of me getting the baton with 2 of my fingers, and I'm turning around and then John's falling on the ground. So that's definitely one of my favorite memories.
And Matt, real quick from you.
Yeah, I would just say being with the team throughout the season, just grinding every day at practice. Winning NJACs is always a special feeling. But yeah, just being with the team and doing well, I think. It's not just one memory, but
yeah.
I think
that's awesome. All right, well, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for coming in, Chris and Matt, and thanks so much for everything you guys have done for the Rowan track and field team. 5 consecutive NJAC championships. That's nothing to hang your head about, certainly. But that's going to do it for Prof Spotlight. I'm Mark Etchetelli, and now to Jeremy with Pro Talk.
Thank you, Mark. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Pro Talk. I'm your host, Jeremy Lightfinger, keeping you up to date with all the happenings of the professional sports world. Let's dive right in. The Bryce Harper Phillies fiasco will continue for at least another week, it seems. Both sides still haven't reached an agreement on a contract, yet last Saturday, columnist Jim Bowden of The Athletic was quoted as saying, Harper is rounding third and headed home in regards to signing a deal with the Phils. One can only hope that this situation is resolved relatively soon, as all 30 MLB teams have fully reported to spring training already, and Harper is missing out on opportunities to build chemistry and camaraderie with teammates. The team unfortunately came up empty on another stud free agent they had been targeting. On Wednesday afternoon, third baseman Manny Machado agreed to a 10-year, $300 million contract to play with the San Diego Padres. It is the biggest contract signed in American sports history and sets a precedent for approximately how much Bryce Harper will command with his own contract. This news is surely disappointing for Phillies fans, as the team had been intensely pursuing him and had gone to great lengths to make Philadelphia appealing to him, such as hiring his mentor and longtime friend Bobby Dickerson. The Philadelphia 76ers are ready to finish out their season after a much-needed rest over the All-Star break. Unfortunately, they will be without the services of star center Joel Embiid for at least a week. The team announced Wednesday that he is suffering from left knee soreness. An MRI revealed no structural damage, but due to his extensive injury history, the team is resting him for precautionary reasons. This, coupled with news that rotational guard Furkan Korkmaz suffered a torn meniscus over the weekend and will be out indefinitely for the rest of the season, puts added pressure on Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, and Ben Simmons to step up and play harder in Embiid's absence. In college basketball news, Duke Blue Devils forward Zion Williamson suffered a left knee sprain Wednesday night's marquee matchup against the North Carolina Tar Heels. Williamson, who many believe will be the #1 pick in this year's NBA draft, slipped and fell only 36 seconds into the first half
and caused the Nike basketball shoe he was wearing to rip completely in two, exposing all of his bottom heel. The injury doesn't seem serious, and many believe Zion will be ready to play again in time for the start of the NCAA tournament. Yet this has raised many debates in the sports community, including the durability and quality of Nike shoe products, whether or not college basketball players should receive a salary like professional players, and the possibility of Zion sitting out the rest of the season to ensure he is 100% healthy and ready for his impending NBA career.
Excellent job, Jeremy. First time in the Pro Talk seat.
Yeah.
Or standing, there's no chair there.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
how'd you feel?
It was pretty cool. You know, I was a little nervous, but you know, I went into it pretty easily. I had fun. It was fun.
Yeah, that's what we strive for here.
Oh, yeah. Fun, relaxed environment here on All Access.
But the Bryce Harper scenario with spring training starting, it seems like the Phillies are going to get him, and I personally believe that. But where do you think he's going to sign?
Yeah, I don't see him signing anywhere else, honestly. There was the news that just came out today that the Nationals GM has basically like ended their relationship with him. So I think Philadelphia is his only option. I don't see any other team willing to make that financial sacrifice to sign him.
I think financial-wise, I agree with you. I think the diamond in the rough, though, might be the Giants, just based on they could give him like a 3-year deal.
Yeah, perhaps.
Just kind of he can wait out to get a bigger contract in a couple years, especially after his off year last year.
Yeah.
But speaking of big contracts, Manny Machado, 10 years, $300 million. Sean had a stat for that earlier.
That's crazy. When you really break it down, he makes about $2,800 every time he steps up to the plate.
And
Insanity.
that's in a sport where you're good if you
Yeah,
fail
really.
7 out of 10
Yeah.
times.
He could strike
Yes.
out and make 50 grand.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
It's massive contract, but weird spot for him to go. Why do you
Yeah.
think he signed with the Padres?
You know, it's honestly puzzling because the Padres aren't very good and they haven't been for a while. I could see maybe the West Coast being appealing to him. I don't know much about him. Maybe he's from California, but I could see San Diego being like an attractive destination just because it's near the beach, it's warm weather, you know, stuff like that. So maybe he's content with just being on a mediocre team for a while.
Their pitch to collect him must have been pretty impressive with their plan maybe over the next couple of years too. If he was willing to sign not only in general, but then to play third base for at least a portion of his time there.
Yeah, and definitely, and as we wrap up the Sixers, we're going in kind of to the back end of the season, and which I think is a seriously smart move to make sure Joel is sitting out, because if you don't have him strong and healthy for the end, especially going into the playoffs, it's going to be an issue. But who do you think personally steps up in the Sixers, and who do you think has to have a great record?
I think it has to be Jimmy Butler. He's been kind of the like third or fourth option ever since they acquired him, which kind of doesn't make sense because he's like a top 20 player in the league. And he's voiced his concerns. There was a report a couple weeks ago that he wants a bigger role in the offense. And I think Embiid being out for a week, hopefully only a week, is a perfect opportunity to show the Brett Brown that he deserves a bigger role, because he is a talented defensive and offensive player, and he deserves to be, if not the first, then the second option.
And how do you think Tobias Harris, the addition of Tobias Harris, how's that going to work with this offense? Because a lot of people are saying at this right now, their starting five, let's say Joel is here, their starting five is one of the best in the league. And how do you think that they work around without having Joel for the next couple games?
I think it's just more touches for Tobias. He's a great shooter. He shoots over 40% from three. And when defenses realize that he's a great shooter, that'll take pressure off of Redick. So Redick, who is already an excellent three-point shooter, he'll get even more open looks. So I think the offense will be even better, honestly.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, thank you so much for your analysis, Jeremy, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rebecca Sulzbach is standing by with more members of the men's track and field team. Rebecca?
Thanks, Derek. Now it's time for Rowan Roundtable. I'm your host, Rebecca Sulzbach, and I'm here with Tyler Garland from the men's track and field team. Thanks for joining me.
Anytime.
So I just wanted to congratulate you on Athlete of the Week.
Thank
We'll
you.
start
Thank
that.
you.
All right, so I'm just going to ask you some questions. What year are you?
2020.
Okay. What's your major?
My major currently is communication studies.
Okay, do you know what you want to do?
Management, most likely.
Okay. So what made you want to run track?
So I was in high school, and there's a couple of big guys that was in the school, and I was tired of being a shrimp. So I was like, let me do a sport. I don't know no basketball. I don't know no football. I don't know nothing else. Track and field, you just got to run straight. couple turns, and that's it. So,
Now
Nah.
it's that.
yep, and here I am, still running the same circle.
So I guess you're happy you made that decision, because here you are now.
Yeah, I got a little bigger. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with the results.
All right. So what age did you start? I guess in high school.
I was a freshman.
Freshman?
Yeah,
Okay.
was freshman.
All right. What's your favorite memory? You can do one from running with Rowan. You could do one from running in high school.
So my favorite memory was back in high school. I went to this meet in Maryland, and I was in my event was the 110 hurdles, and me and this one guy, I don't know his name, but we started and we went head to head in the race, and he beat me. But that's what I liked, that he beat me and I gave him my all, and I shook hands to him. I asked him what his name was, but I forgot. But I just know that was my favorite memory in track.
Challenges you more for next time.
Yeah, it made me a little better.
Right? Is there any athlete that you look up to?
Well, there's this one athlete. His name is Tyler Garland.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the Rowan track team. He's a handsome fellow. Got some nice hair and everything. He does hurdles. I'm trying to be just like him. Yeah.
So I guess if there's any athlete that you enjoy to watch, it's probably him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you like play back his tapes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All the time.
Record all his races and
Yeah.
everything. I want his autograph one day.
Do you have any nicknames any of your teammates call you, high school?
Yeah,
now?
I got a couple. So there's one TG Money. I got TG Funny recently this year.
That's a new one.
Yeah, it's a new one. And I got Noodles.
Do they all like mean something? Any of them?
So the Noodles one is from my friend way back then. We was playing football, and what happened was I threw the football. My arm was like a noodle. Like I said, I was a shrimp, so like I was a little bony, but how I do it was a curved noodle. So that's why I got the name.
So that's from a while back.
Yeah, that's from way back then.
So does anyone on the track and field team call you that now?
No, that's classified information until
well,
now. So everybody
Until now,
gonna
so now
say,
everyone knows.
yeah, but now TG Money, I got that from my brother, and I don't know how I got to the track team. I think from my IG probably. That's why. So TG Money, and then TG Funny I got from this kid that we nicknamed Slim Shady, and he called me TG Funny because obviously I guess I'm funny, or I'm just funny looking.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, something. But yeah, that's a new one.
All right. Do you have any pre-meet rituals?
So I did in high school. I haven't tried it in college yet because I might get yelled at.
Really?
Yeah, by Tate. But back in high school, I used to get down, and then I used to make a horse sound. I was like,
Why? Like, what did
because
that
you know
do
horses
for you?
are fast. Horses are fast. You feel me? I was gonna gallop over the hurdles too. So, but I got yelled at in high school for doing that. So
Really?
I kind of stopped it. So.
Why'd they yell at you?
Because they told me to
like-
get up and said, do it again, you're out. So I guess they might do the
So
same
you
thing.
stopped.
Yeah, I had no choice but to stop. Might try it next meet, though. Might try it next meet coming up tomorrow.
So what made you want to go to Rowan? Were you gonna run for any other college?
I was going to run for other colleges, but my grades were slacking. So a man had to come to Rowan. I like Rowan, though. Rowan's definitely a nice place. And the track team's definitely A1 in my opinion, so I'm not regretting my decision to come to Rowan.
Yeah. Do you live here on campus?
No, I commute
Okay.
like 3 minutes away, so I'm saving that bread.
Where are you from?
From Glassboro.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm right here, so.
Yeah. Is there anything funny that's ever happened to you to meet that you remember?
There's a couple incidents when I fell, and like how I fall is like, legs fall up in the air and all you see is shoes, and it's just embarrassing. I just look up like I'm confused and what happened, so.
Like you trip over a hurdle or something?
Yeah, my whole body does like a whole whirlwind, and then I just tumble, and then I just look confused and dazed, and I just walk off the track slowly so no one sees, but everybody sees.
Have you had any like major injuries?
I had a hamstring injury last season because my coach Dimmitt wanted me to run the 4x4, and he got me injured from it.
Oh,
But-
really?
Yeah, but I mean, I forgive him. You know, I forgive him.
Did you test out any other events, or did you know what you wanted to do when you started running?
I knew what I wanted to do when I started running, which was the hurdles and the 200 I recently just got into, and those two events. But recently they've been putting me in the 4x4, and man, that's 2 laps indoor and 1 lap outdoor, and it hurts. It hurts. Worst event in my eyes.
So, do you like the winter season better or the spring season?
Spring season, way better.
Really?
Because in winter season, what happens is everybody comes to practice, and then we get the workout in 30 minutes later. Everybody starts getting chapped lips, noses running,
Really?
ashy fingers, cold. Everybody it's just sickness. Now, spring comes, everybody getting a tan, take the shirt off, get the whole body. Summer body's getting right, like the whole complexion. I look like a golden chicken nugget. I'm just right, you know. So there you go. That's why I get that nice tan.
All right. What's your favorite part of the team? Like the team as a whole.
Favorite part of the team? My favorite part is I like how everybody has like the nice chemistry and everything. How we can all crack jokes, but at the same time we get serious when it comes to the meets. And especially I like winning. And as a team, just recently we won NJAC, so
That's awesome.
and
Yeah.
That was our 5th win in a row. No L's
Congratulations.
yet. Yeah, no L's
Yeah,
ever.
no, since you've been here, right?
Yeah. It's gonna be like that since
I
I
don't
leave.
stay like that.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely like the team chemistry. It's definitely A1 in my eyes.
Is there anything that made you like want to quit at any point? Any coach, anyone that told you anything?
Nah. Once I'm stick with something, I don't quit, cause then I feel like a failure. So I'm sticking with track until I graduate, and if I'm nice, maybe go pro. But I might have arthritis or a couple of times where my fingers or something. You know, I'm getting a little rusty.
I was gonna ask you, do you plan to continue running or do anything with running, coach after college?
Yeah, it just depends if I'm nice once I get done my last season eligibility. That depends how it is. And if I'm at where I think I should be, I will go pro.
What's your biggest accomplishment? Your best time? Anything that you really find special?
My best was in high school when I won sectional in states, and then got 4th at the Meet of Champs. But that's gonna have to change pretty soon. I need to get to nationals.
Yeah.
And, take a W here, so I don't have to go back to the past in high school for my accolades. But pretty soon something's gonna happen.
So what's your goal for this season?
My goal is
Any personal goals? I mean, obviously to win overall is the team goal, but is there any personal goal?
I just want to get in the nationals and just place in nationals. That's my goal for right now.
Yeah.
And if I get that, then I'm satisfied. So we'll see how that works.
So that's all for this week's Rowan Roundtable. Thank you, Tyler, for joining me, and back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Rebecca. Let's round out the show. Sean?
Rowan's women's indoor track and field team took second at the NJAC Championships this past Monday with a score of 233 that was just eclipsed by the College of New Jersey with 246. The evening was record-breaking, being highlighted by Michelle McCauley, who broke the school and NJAC record in the long jump, leaping an incredible 18 feet 10 inches, beating out the previous record by 2.5 inches. Aspen McMillan placed first in the 60-meter hurdles, posting a quick time of 8.77 seconds, which is also a new NJAC record by 8 seconds. The 4x200-meter relay of Anaya Robinson, Kirsten Johnson, and Darielle Cross claimed first with a time of 1 minute 43.07 seconds, a season best. The Profs hope to continue their dominance as they head to the Army College Last Chance meet today at 3 p.m.
The men's track and field team also competed at the NJAC Championship on Monday. They would end the indoor winter season with a first-place victory, making it their 5th year in a row taking the title. Justin Bishop and Chris Mezziano would finish in the top 2 spots of the 400-meter, both posting times just under 50 seconds. Ernest Daniel earned first place on the high jump, clearing a bar that was set at 6 feet 6 inches. Finally, the 4x200 relay team of Tyler Garland, Shai Mumford, Daquan Murray, and Spencer Jarrett earned first place, breaking the NJAC record by almost a full second with a time of 1 minute 27.69 seconds. So a great winter season for the track teams, and it seems like we say that every year.
They're just amazing. I'm like, year in and year out, it's always first place this, breaking the record that. And it's really amazing that this program has been able to not have to suffer from the fallback of losing amazing seniors and amazing people that leave. And I hope to see that this program is successful in many years to come.
Yeah, and the men's track and field team winning their 5th consecutive NJAC title, which is impressive no matter what sport it is. And on top of that, Rebecca and Mark, talking to them in studio today, Really just great interviews, and they seem like really well-rounded people. They seem like as a team they get along with each other.
And that's the
what
most
you want.
important part,
Yeah.
definitely, to have those successful seasons as they do year in and year out, Derek.
And then as the indoor winter season ends, we head into the spring sports season.
Spring
So
sports!
on our next show, the spring sports season begins. We
Yeah.
have softball, lacrosse, and continuing action from the swimming and diving teams. Also, spring training for baseball starts next week. So Jeremy will have all the updates for you.
That's all we have for this episode of All Access. For Mark Acitelli, Rebecca Sulzbach, Jeremy Lightfinger, and Derek Hill, I'm Sean Kelly. We'll see you next time on All Access.